This is so ridiculous, and that they are trying to deflect from all the great things Donald Trump has done. There is no evidence that Donald Trump has committed a crime. Everyone knows that. This has been the most transparent presidency. He's the one that asked that those files
I'm reclaiming my time.
be
I got your
released.
answer. You said there's no evidence.
Trump asked
Mr. Chairman, please stop the clock. Stop the clock.
The legislation. This is
I'd like to reclaim my
Time belongs to the gentleman from California.
Okay. I'm going to put up another document from a witness who called the FBI's National Threat Operations Center, because I believe you just lied under oath. There is ample evidence in the Epstein file.
Don't you ever accuse me of a...
That woman saying, "Don't you ever accuse me of a crime," while being accused of lying under oath about crimes, was the Attorney General of the United States. Was because Trump fired her 9 days after that exchange. Her name is Pam Bondi. The man pressing her is Ted Lieu, a California congressman and former federal prosecutor who spent his 5 minutes doing something nobody in that room expected. He built an actual legal case, on camera, in real time. Bondi had promised the American public for months that the Epstein client list was sitting on her desk. The DOJ then released a memo saying there was no client list. She distributed Epstein file binders to conservative influencers at a White House event, and the binders turned out to be documents already publicly available. And through all of it, over 1,000 victims waited. Lieu showed up to that hearing with photos, video, and an FBI witness file. Let's watch what he did with them. The pivot to Merrick Garland is the tell. Anytime a sitting official...
Thank you, Attorney General Bondi, for being here today. I'm going to show you two photos.
Thank you.
I'm going to show you two photos of former Prince Andrew. Prince Andrew attended various parties with Jeffrey Epstein. Under the law Congress passed, you were allowed to redact photos to protect the victims of Epstein's sex trafficking operation. You redacted the photos of this victim's face because you were following the congressional law. Is that correct?
I'm sorry, that we redacted the victim's
Because you were
face?
following the congressional law, correct?
Yes.
Okay. You have now established that please put the photos back up, that we are looking at a sex trafficking victim. Under the Federal Victims Trafficking Protection Act, not only is Jeffrey Epstein guilty, but anyone who patronizes Epstein's sex operation is also guilty of a crime. That's why I find it absolutely despicable that you sought to protect Epstein's clients, like former Prince Andrew. Last July, you closed the case on Epstein's abusers. The July 2025 memo from your Department of Justice stated, quote, "We did not uncover evidence that could predicate an investigation against uncharged third parties." These two photos, please put the photos back up. These two photos staring you in the face are evidence of a crime and more than enough evidence to predicate an investigation against former Prince Andrew. So I ask you, Attorney General Pam Bondi, why did you shut down this investigation last July, and why have you not prosecuted former Prince Andrew?
Official deflects to a predecessor who no longer has power to answer. They are buying time without providing cover. Lieu predicted it. He agreed prior AGs failed, and then drove the point home. You are in charge now. You have the power. Bondi knew what was coming and still had no answer. The July 2025 DOJ memo, her department's own memo, stated investigators found no grounds to pursue uncharged third parties. But by her own standards she just established on camera, the photos of Prince Andrew at Epstein events are evidence sufficient to open an investigation. The legal framework she validated for one person applied equally to another. She created the trap herself. Trump's name appears in those files over 38,000 times. Two separate witnesses.
Love this.
I want to discuss another man, Donald Trump, who is all over the Epstein files. Like former Prince, here's a video. Like former Prince Andrew, Donald Trump attended various parties with Jeffrey Epstein. I want to know, were there any underage girls at that party or at any party that Trump attended with Jeffrey Epstein?
In a DOJ internal slideshow, made accusations against him. Oversight Democrats confirmed the DOJ withheld FBI interviews with a survivor who named Trump. Those interviews had been conducted at least 4 times, but the files documenting them were quietly removed from the public database. When Lieu confronted Bondi with a witness statement, a limo driver who reported a rape allegation and a suspicious death to the FBI's National Threat Operations Center, she did not say, "We will investigate." She said, "Don't you ever accuse me of a crime." The DOJ never interviewed that witness. Lieu and Goldman later wrote a formal letter demanding a special counsel investigate Bondi for perjury. The DOJ's response was to call their allegations insane on social media. 9 days later, she was fired. Make of that sequence whatever you want. Here's where things stand. Pam Bondi was fired on April 2nd.
Limo. He overheard what Donald Trump said to Jeffrey on his cell phone. He was so angry, he was going to stop a limo and hurt Donald Trump. And he met a girl who said she was raped by Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein. She later had her head blown off, and officers at the scene said that could not have been suicide. No one at the Department of Justice interviewed this witness. You need to interview this witness immediately. Epstein should rot in hell, so should the men who patronized his operation. And as we sit here today, there are over 1,000 sex trafficking victims, and you have not held a single man accountable. Shame on you. If you had any decency, you would resign right after this hearing
The
concludes.
gentleman has expired.
May I respond?
The subpoena requiring her to testify about the Epstein files is still active. She is refusing to appear, claiming her firing ended her legal obligation. Bipartisan members of Congress, Republicans and Democrats, say that is wrong. The subpoena was issued to her by name. She must still answer. What that hearing exposed was not just one bad exchange. It was a pattern. Bondi promised a client list. No list existed. She promised transparency, then released binders of already public documents to influencers. Her department redacted the names of likely accomplices while accidentally exposing the names of victims. She was caught bringing congressional members' search histories into the hearing room. And when confronted with evidence that Trump was named in FBI witness statements she had access to, she looked into cameras and said, "There is no evidence." She was wrong, or she lied. Either answer is disqualifying. The survivors in that room raised their hands when asked if DOJ refused to meet with them. All of them raised their hands. They are still raising them. Like and subscribe. The story is not over.